Hey guys, welcome to the Girls Who Waited, the Geek Girl YouTube show about Doctor Who and more. I am one of your hosts, Angela, and I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Lil.
Hey.
Today we're going to be talking about the new television show on the CW called iZombie. So we're already 4 episodes in at this point, so we're just going to talk about all 4 of the episodes and what we like about the show and what we're excited about. So I'll go ahead and let you start.
Well, I have to say, I wasn't sure what to think of the show when I first started hearing about it through the creator, Rob Thomas, who also created Veronica Mars. I love Veronica Mars, so I was definitely willing to give this show a chance when I started to see Rob Thomas talk about it a little bit more on Twitter. But I was also kind of nervous because of the zombie factor, and zombies freak me out. Like, 100%, I have recurring zombie dreams. They are scary. So I wasn't sure that I really wanted to, get into this show. Was it going to be really scary? Was it going to be really dumb? I had a lot of different thoughts about it. And then the first night it was on, I happened to be in front of the television and I watched the first episode, and I had so many things about it that were very, very Veronica Mars, basically. Like, not exact, oh, this is the same show but with zombies, but enough of that same sort of feel that you get from Rob Thomas's writing, the quirky characters, just the sort of like oddball humor that he has. And so I've actually really been enjoying it the past 4 episodes. I won't go into like a whole lot of detail right up front, but I've been very excited about the show, and I'm glad it's doing well. It's the third most popular CW show according to Rob Thomas's Twitter. So that's really good because hopefully we'll get to see more. And that's what I like about the CW is you get to see shows that other networks would probably cancel. So I'm excited. So what are your sort of like first beginning thoughts, overall thoughts of the show?
Well, first thing I thought when I heard that it was from the creator of Veronica Mars was Lil is gonna love this show. That's the first thing I thought.
Yep.
The second thing I thought was, oh cool, we're gonna actually get like a zombie show. And wait, it's based on a Vertigo comic? Sweet. So now the show is very loosely based on a comic book from Vertigo, which is DC's more mature title or more mature company for comic books. So I was excited just because we're getting all these comic book shows on television, and it makes me happy because I love comics and I love television, and you're mushing them together, and it's great. I was really intrigued by the premises when they were showing the commercials for it, so I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it's a zombie show, but it doesn't look like Walking Dead style zombie show, so should be good. I also have reoccurring zombie dreams, and I still watch The Walking Dead. I'm kind of a glutton for punishment there, but yeah, zombies terrify me as well. So, but I was really excited for the show, and I've so far have been very happy with how it's going. It very much has that like teen angst thing with it.
Well, but that's what's interesting is they're not teenagers. I mean,
They're
she,
not teenagers. It's well,
you know,
okay, college age angst.
well, even aren't they older than that?
They're in
Because
like grad school.
her friend is a DA and she
She was
was,
in grad school,
yeah,
supposedly. Her and her ex fiance were in grad school.
and I love that.
So
Like, I know this like totally random, but I just like that it's not high school, that we get to see something cool and quirky that's not high school. No offense to high school shows, because I love Buffy, but
well, we had Buffy the college years too.
that's true.
But no, I think right now my favorite character in the show is her boss. So it's just he's kind of funny. I'm trying to actually like find his name because now I can't remember it off the top of my head. But do you just want to go right into the episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have not seen any of these episodes, this is where the spoilers will start. So, up until this point, we have not posted spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, cut your computer off right now. And go. We can start talking about episodes. So, the first episode is the pilot, like always. And they're introducing characters. So, I'll let you start on that one.
That was 4 weeks ago, and now I'm trying to remember what happened 4 weeks ago.
She had no white hair 4 weeks ago. They started off. She was not a zombie. She went to a party. She got
They jump right in
attacked.
with her being the zombie though, and then you kind of get flashbacks to the party.
Yeah.
The boat party where she gets turned. I think it was interesting because that's, they really just jumped right into her eating brains, getting visions, and set up the story. And I really liked that we didn't have a pilot episode that like tried to drag things out. Like it just jumped into, this is going to be a show about a zombie who solves crimes. And that's what we got.
I'm so happy it doesn't come off as cheesy as that sounds.
I know. Right? And so you learn quickly that she, is also like, you start to notice that even though she doesn't realize it, you as the viewer kind of realize she's picking up the habits of the person's brain she ate, because that was the one where she gets kleptomania and starts like stealing things. I like that they created her out to be a psychic for the police detective so that he wouldn't know her story, and he just rolls with it. He's like, oh, okay, yes, yeah,
you're a psychic.
But it works. Like there's, like psych worked. Well, he wasn't really psychic, but he was able to fool a lot of people thinking he was.
And in this case, she kind of is psychic because she's eating their brains. Which, even though I know it's not brains, it still makes me go, ugh.
I know, and it doesn't even look like...
I have a very high gore factor, so...
It's just the way she eats it, and she's just like, oh, this looks so delicious. And you're like, oh, that's gross. No. So yeah, I just liked that they set up the episode and the characters and her story very well in that first episode. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what the show was about. It very quickly presented itself and said, this is what we are about. And, we'll go from there. And I like that.
I also enjoyed that. I don't know. It's very different than everything else I'm watching. So just kind of having that thrown in your face was nice. And just the way it still has the inner dialogue that Veronica Mars had. So that's nice too. You have the main character narrating every once in a while, which is always nice instead of just character talking to character, other character talking to character, no narrative.
Yeah.
So you can, if you miss a few minutes, you can catch on really, really quick with every episode because they do have that dialogue going on. So, but okay, so pilot. Oh gracious, my internet just cut out.
Oh, the second episode was Brother, Can You Spare a Brain? I'm trying to remember. I've just watched the most recently.
That's the art one.
Ah, yes.
So that's the one where this guy gets killed and she eats his brain, and he's an artist. And so she all of a sudden starts being able to paint, and she becomes all like poetic. She even like hits on her ex-fiance who she dumped in the previous, or you find out she dumped in the previous episode because she didn't want him to turn to a zombie and stuff. And
yeah,
there has to be anguish. Oh, there has to be lost love.
Well, I think this is where you see the actress that plays Liv, the zombie, is just so fantastic because she takes on this, after eating the brain of this artist who's just this romantic, and he sees things and feels things in the way he says, she puts that across so well that you really do feel like she's a different person. And, when she catches herself and sort of goes back to being Liv rather than being the artist, I really like that because she's just such a great actress, and she really is able to sort of pull those like back and forths off really well.
And it's so funny to watch the police officer that she's working with too, when she's like describing things and he's just like, oh, okay. Or in this one too, when they were interrogating people and she was in the interrogation room and she was hitting on them.
Yep.
That was very amusing. So it was just really, really funny to watch her how she does take on the other personality. And that one was just way more humorous. And we also meet the drug dealing zombie guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we meet him
Blaine.
in the first episode or in this one?
This is where they actually bring him in and like explain him. Like she has like thoughts about this thing that attacked her, this guy that attacked her at the boat in the first episode. And I think she like does the sketch or whatever. Or they get a sketch. No, they get the sketch made in this one. But this is the one where he comes in and you actually like go, oh, this is, you know, this bad boy character. This is the Spike of the show, just not the Spike of the show. I only say the Spike of the show because he totally just kind of reminds me of that style of character with the hair and the look.
Well, I got excited at first because I really liked that actor, and they initially like played him off to be a good character, you know, of course, sort of like throwing us off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad and tortured, and I'm trying to be better," and of course, very quickly showed us that he was not good at all. And I was a little disappointed because I kind of wanted to see her like anti-hero or her villain be a little different. Like, you're like, oh, of course it's him. He always plays a bad guy. I don't know. I was just hoping that he would be good, and he wasn't. So, but he plays bad well. So
he does play bad well, and it's his storyline that popped in the episode that just came on this week, which we'll get into later. It just makes me laugh. So I'll wait and talk about that one. But they solve a crime of this dead painter. Like that's like the main storyline. We're talking about a lot of the more bits and pieces, but then you find out who killed the painter and stuff like that. I don't want to spoil it too much for you guys, just in case some of you are still watching. But let's go ahead and go on to the next episode then. The Exterminator. This is the one where she eats the brain of the hitman. Or the...
That was really interesting because, again, going back to her playing different characters, you know,
this was the sociopath or whatever, where this is the one where she sees the video of her ex-fiance kissing the girl, and she's just like, happens. And her reaction is totally different than you would expect a girl who is still madly in love with this guy that she's trying to protect.
Yeah. Well, but that goes back to like her acting skills and being able to, again, play the character with absolutely, you know, zero feelings. And then, of course, the big reveal of this episode is a third zombie. Well, not a third zombie because we've seen evil zombie turn another rich lady into a zombie, but an actual like horde type zombie that you think of. They can think of nothing but brains, and
that one was creepy.
Yeah, and is not at all like Liv or the other guy.
And me watching the doctor, the medical examiner, fall down. I was like, oh, no.
I knew he was going to, though. Like,
I know, but it's just that one thing where you're just like, he's an awesome character. No, he's part of the funny of this show.
Don't turn him into a zombie. So it's interesting, them trying to figure out why is she like this, if we feed her brains, and then, of course, being like, is this what Liv could turn into? Is this what other people could turn into? Why is she like this? It was creepy. Like, I was like, okay, that was a little too actual zombie-like for me. Let's not have too many more like that.
I did like the closure for that girl's story. Like for her friend, though, where they did have her taking the girl's necklace and making sure the mother got it. So I thought that was kind of sweet added in because we had so much of deadpan, no feeling.
Yeah.
Live for the whole episode, and then at the end you did get a little bit of heart in there.
Well, I liked her boss kind of reminding her, you know, when she was worrying about how she was feeling, and he was reminding her, look, the fact that you're worried about how you're feeling shows that you're still in control, and even though there's a lot that you're having a hard time overcoming, you're still aware of it, and that's important. I liked that episode for how they caught the bad guy, and, you know, I kind of saw that coming, like setting him up and making him think they had an eyewitness, but that was good, that was clever. I liked that episode a lot.
The trash man.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good.
And then the next episode was the one that came on this past week, which is called Live and Let Clive. This is the one where she eats a brain and she finds out that Clive, the detective that she's been working with, she thinks he's bad. because she sees him doing bad stuff. And she also learns Kung Fu with this one too, which is really funny.
And of course, that line from The Matrix, I know Kung Fu. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. That's just so Rob Thomas, but.
It was funny too, watching her like kick that dude's butt.
Yeah.
Like she jumps on him like a zombie though.
And at the end, she's just like, fine, I'll just zombie out. But of course, this is the episode. This is where things started to fall apart for me, and I'm not really sure how this is going to go. So the evil zombie, whose name escapes me,
I will find that for you.
We find out in like the second episode, he bites this lady he meets at the bar, turns her into a zombie, and is like, if you pay me X amount of money every month, I'll provide you with brains.
Blaine.
Okay. And she's like, oh, yeah, of course. You know, I don't want to be like this. So we don't really see anything else about them until this episode. And that's when we discover he has this business of biting rich people and providing them with brains. And I think that's really weak storyline. Because first off, these are rich people. These are wealthy people. These are not stupid people. These are people that got rich and got wealthy and are where they are because of their position. And none of them, like, they had this huge list. Like, his little, like, stooges had this huge list of people they were delivering brains to and collecting money from. And none of them have said anything or tried to find another way to get brains. Is Seattle just a big zombie horde? I don't know. I would get it if it was 2, 3, 4, 5 people, maybe. But he's just going around biting rich people and convincing them to give him money. I
did like how he was kind of having a gourmet, like, food thing going on, though.
I mean, yes,
that did make me laugh.
It was. I liked that lady and the cooking, and it was a little gross, but it was funny. But then whenever I realized, like, oh, you're supposed to have, like, all these rich zombie, it doesn't. And I know we're watching a show about zombies, and so like trying to find realistic elements is funny, but it's just one of those things where you can only take it so far before your mind is like thinking about, oh, this wouldn't work. And I can accept a zombie, but I can't accept a bunch of rich zombies.
You can't accept rich zombies in a foodie network of rich zombies.
I just can't. Like, I mean, they're not smart enough, and like all these people, how is he feeding all of these people with enough brains to keep them from going crazy? None of them
have to eat a lot, though.
Huh?
They don't have to eat a lot.
Yeah, but none of them is slipping up and biting someone else. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm really interested to see where this is going to go and exactly how many people he's bitten, because it's not working for me.
And to see what happens with the those kids.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting feedback. Her Liv's ex-fiance is a social worker, and the kids that we see in earlier episodes that Blaine like takes away or whatever are kids that he's worked with. So it's kind of starting to weave its way together.
Yeah. So you know that somehow Major is going to find out about the zombies.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I'm interested to see what they're doing, because you can tell there's an overlining thing that's going to happen in all these stories. We just don't know yet. But
I like that it's still solve a crime every week. Like I like that. I like having episodes that wrap up and that you're not constantly just like on the edge of your seat, what's going to happen next. But that also still have kind of a storyline that you can follow and know sort of that there's more to what's going on, while at the same time being satisfied that, and this week we solved another crime. I just like that.
You get a little bit of closure while you're still like, but this is still going on. So, but no, I'm excited to see what the next, I think there's 8 episodes total this season. 7 episodes that they have listed on Wikipedia. So I'm excited to see what they actually do. And I hope that it continues to be good.
Yeah, I hope so too.
The CW has not let me down with some shows yet, so I'm hoping they won't do it again. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. you guys at home, do you like iZombie? I can still hear feedback. Do you like iZombie? Do you hate it? Tell us in the comments below. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. If you like our show, like or subscribe to us, like us on Facebook, and I'll let you close out.
And of course, let us know how you think a bunch of rich Seattle zombies are existing. I really want to know. This is a problem for me, and I want to know how to resolve it. But yeah, stay tuned. If you haven't checked out some of our most recent videos, if this is one of the first episodes you've watched, we've got lots of really cool Doctor Who stuff. Angela just got back from an awesome Doctor Who convention, so if you haven't watched some of those episodes yet, go ahead and do that, and keep an eye out for some more really exciting stuff coming from there. So we've got lots of really cool things coming up. And of course, we'll be talking more about iZombie and hopefully a few other cool shows we're enjoying as well. So as always, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.